Welcome back to the Ace Attorney podcast. This is the final case of Justice for All. We finally made it. The one and only final fourth case of the second game. My name is Ziggy. I'm once again being joined by Goomb and Allie. How are you both doing?
What if it isn't the only final case of the second game, though?
I don't know about
What if there's a second one and it's just a secret?
I don't know.
And they haven't released it yet for the
exactly.
Wii U or something plus.
Yeah, what if they come
Nintendo
back?
Switch 3.
There was Ace Attorney on the Wii. It was in the Wii shop, and you could swing the Wii remote to do objections.
Wow. I wish you could do that on the Switch version. Unfortunately not. Well, anyways, we have made it to the final case. Justice for All. Very big case, in fact. Spans 2 days, I think, in total. Long investigation, long trials, lots of stuff.
This is what I was talking about when I'm like, oh, there's no more 3-day cases. There's really long 2-day cases.
Yeah. A lot of big things happen in this case. We have the return of the famous Edgeworth himself.
He's not dead.
He's not actually dead.
I mean, he was also showed up in the last case.
As was
at the end.
revealed at the end of the last case. And yeah, a lot of big things happen. So we'll get into talking about all that. But before we begin, Allie, what did you think of this case overall?
I really liked it because it had Edgeworth and it had a lot of Edgeworth. It also brought back a lot of pretty funny characters. So I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yes, indeed. Goon, what about you? What did you think?
I mean, I hold the pretty popular opinion in this case pretty much dog walks everything else in Justice for All. It's one of the best cases in the series. I don't really know what my favorite Ace Attorney case is, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah, my opinion was, I was not the biggest fan of the first trial day. I had some issues with some of the stuff, and we'll get into that. But that second day is almost completely perfect for me. It does so much stuff right, and yeah, this case is amazing. So it's going to be contending a lot with what was it called? Rise from the Ashes. That's my favorite case of the series. Thus far. So.
And that's saying a lot because the very beginning had so many psyche locks.
Yeah.
I like psych locks. I'm a psych lock stan.
Well, okay, Goom, I know you like them. I as a non-player also enjoy them. I think that they're good for like guiding you where to go and like
Besides,
what
this
you
one
need
has
to do.
like day one is like the best psych locks in the entire game because they're funny.
Yeah. Seriously, yeah.
Well,
half of
yeah.
them aren't even real.
I'm talking about a very specific set.
Why don't we just roll right into the first investigation day then? So Phoenix and Maya and Pearl have been invited by Will Powers to go to the freaking Ninja Con or whatever.
It's the celebration of all the tokusatsu hero shows, voting on which one is the best.
Yeah. And that's pretty cool. We already get the return of Will Powers from the first game. So I'm glad he's back. He's got a nice snazzy suit on that he keeps on the entire case, which is cool. He also ends up doing a what was it? Testimony later on. So
well, that's on day 2.
Yeah.
If you remember back on Ace Attorney 1, I complained that Will Powers is a sprite where he's holding a handkerchief, but he doesn't have like a standing sprite for it, so it just snaps back to his normal sprite every time he uses it. They also noticed that, I guess, so he no longer does that, and I am grateful. Because I didn't like that.
But yeah, we have that, and then we have probably one of the biggest things of this entire case happen almost immediately. A random bellboy shows up and tells Maya that she has a call.
Yeah, like a normal bellboy, he has a giant stitch going through the middle of his face, and
yeah, nothing suspicious about that.
Yeah, wears a monocle.
And then yeah, Maya gets kidnapped. Oh, big reveal. They even have like a special theme of I don't remember the name of this song exactly. what's it called?
Yeah, they have a crisis theme. It's not what it's called, but
They have
it's like
Hotline to Destiny, I think it's called.
yeah.
From the app. It's to show that like I don't know, things are getting real. And I remember back when I first played this case, this was probably out of the original trilogy, because that's like all the games I played, the best intro to a case and like just getting me invested. I really like the beginning of this. I mean, it just creates drama almost instantly, and you are extremely invested in it. So.
And also, not having Maya around lets them also shake things up, because now you have you're stuck with Pearl being your investigation partner.
Yeah.
And Mia being your only trial partner.
I don't really mind that half the time, you know.
I'm fine with that, because honestly, Pearl, I don't know, she kind of gets sidelined in this game a little bit. So I'm glad that you get to actually do stuff with her.
I like it. I like Pearl as a cast member. I said that when she was introduced.
Yeah, she has some good interactions with some of the other characters later on.
Yeah. Well, even at the start, if you when you're still with Maya, if you show Pearl's portrait to Will asks if she's Maya's little sister. She goes, no. And he goes, oh, so you must be Phoenix's little sister then. And she goes, no. And she just goes, whose little sister are you?
She's just here, you know.
And she just goes, I'm an only child.
My mom's in prison.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can bring this up now. Eventually, near the beginning, Gumshoe shows up, and you can show him a bunch of evidence. You can show him a bunch of profiles, and he just does, his default thing for the profiles is to say, I've never really been good with like remembering people, so I don't know who this is. And then Pearl says like, yeah, you must not be very good at that. And he says, yeah. But he also says that when you show him Pearl's profile, which is kind of strange. Like, she's literally standing right there in your conversation, and you don't remember who she is? Alright,
that's hilarious.
When you're still with Maya, if you show him Maya's portrait, this is what I was trying to tell you about Ziggy. He talks about how he learned that Maya was spirit channeling in case 2 of this game, and he was so impressed he decided to learn something himself, so he started taking up gardening.
Wow. What a great guy.
That's his special talent he's been working on to match Maya's spirit channeling.
Yeah, there's a lot of returning characters in this case. I mean, almost immediately we get the return of Lotta Hart, I think is the first one we meet, besides Will Powers, of course.
Yeah, it's Will Powers and then Lotta Hart and then the best one.
And then the old bag.
Exactly, the best one.
Old bag
I love her so much in this one.
And in a new outfit as well, as a security guard, supposedly. I don't know, it doesn't really seem like much of a security guard outfit, but she has like a...
Well, she's in costume for the event.
Yeah. So
I think that's the logic, at least, for her wearing her like alien helmet with non-breathable helmet. She's at one point she says that she can't breathe while she's wearing it.
Alien helmet at the ninja costume.
It's not ninja, it's tokusatsu.
Ninja event, I mean. Oh well.
It just so happens that the Jammin Ninja and the Steel Samurai are both like feudal Japan themed. Not every tokusatsu show would be feudal Japan themed.
Alright. I guess that's fair.
Gosh.
We also have Juan Corrida. That's the guy that gets murdered. Maybe I'm jumping ahead here. I don't actually remember when you figure that out. I think the first person you're introduced to that's like actually super new in this case is the defendant, Matt on guard.
Well, the first person you meet from this case is the bellboy.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Wait, what were your initial impressions of Matt and guard? I feel like Allie probably would have the most to say about this compared to Goomb.
I liked him. I don't know. I think I liked him.
Yeah,
I like his running joke where he calls people on his phone to decide everything for him.
I kind of really like that in a character. So, I thought it was cute.
His animations are pretty funny.
Oh yeah, he's very charismatic.
He's got like the red blazer on. It's kind of cool.
I think they call it a racing jacket.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
You're describing my dream man right now.
You know, a cool guy. I feel like
you
that's
like
all
the emo hair thing he has going on.
Oh yeah.
We'll definitely have a lot more to say about him later on, but
yeah,
I'd say my initial impressions of him are pretty good. But you know, I mean, he's kind of suspicious because Phoenix gets blackmailed into defending him, so it's a little bit weird why that happens. But almost immediately it doesn't really seem like too much is wrong with it.
I mean, he doesn't even have Cyclops if you ask him if he killed Juan Corrida. So
Yeah,
just saying.
that's a big thing, and something I was thinking about. It's kind of weird that they have the ability to do that. Just like ask people why they can kill them. Like, why haven't they done that in any of the other cases? But it's fine. It's fine.
I mean, it's more for the player because like knowing who the killer is wouldn't change most of what happens.
They're getting smarter every
Yeah.
day that they go on.
Because like when you're done talking to Acro in the last case, you already knew he was the killer.
Hmm.
And like you spent the entire trial day proving that anyway, so it's not like that would have changed anything. You didn't even see him on day one of investigation.
I mean, there's a very good reason why they have you do that in this case, so it makes sense. All right. So then you go doing your investigating and stuff. We also meet Adrian Andrews, the manager of Matt on Guard.
Smash.
Cold manager. What are you guys' thoughts on her?
It's kind of difficult to.
Sorry, go ahead, go.
It's kind of difficult to talk to her like right now before like you establish any of her role in the case, but I think a lot of this case is intentionally written to be like Turnabout Samurai from the first game, and she's kind of the D Vasquez equivalent, which is fun. She's pretty similar personality-wise, at least it seems when you're talking to her the first time.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of similarities to that case, especially with the whole thing about the different person in the costume. Like that's just
And then I mean, like almost all of Ace 21 is represented.
Sorry.
Because almost all of Ace 21 is kind of represented because you have it takes place at the Gatewater Imperial Hotel, the second branch of the Gatewater Hotel they've been talking about the entire game.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually had thought it was the same hotel at the beginning.
No, it's a different one.
Yeah. A lot more luxurious hotel, for sure.
Well, to be fair though, the original Gatewater Hotel has also been remodeled into a luxury hotel because it's been so successful, thanks to being the hotel where the murderer used a wiretap.
Yeah. We also meet Francisca during this investigation. I wrote down in my notes. Basically Phoenix, like, she almost immediately goes back to her thing about like, oh, my perfect record, you will not sully it again. And Phoenix is like, really, dude? You're still doing this? I was like, yes, thank God. He's calling her out on it. It's getting old at this point, Francisca. We also have like 3 Cyclops immediately in this case. One for Wendy Oldbag, one for Hart, and one for Adrian. And, you know, I gotta admit, they finally did Cyclops mostly right, I would say.
The Wendy Oldbag Cyclops are peak.
It only took them 3 cases, but they finally did it. Because, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much just centered around Wendy's Cyclops. Her having like 4 of them written down, so you think she's gonna have like some huge thing. And then you just show her one piece of evidence and they all break.
Yeah, you just give her Juan's autograph, and because her new star she's fawning over is Juan Corrida, she just instantly breaks all 4 of her locks.
And like they even tease you. They're like, "Ooh, you're gonna have one last one." Nope.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know when this happens, but I wrote down this in my notes, so I guess I might as well mention it. Apparently, at some point, Wendy Oldbag confesses to pushing a kid off a bridge when she's talking in fast forward.
Yeah. It's so great that they brought her back.
Yeah, she is such a good character.
She also ends up having a testimony again in the first day of the trial.
Yeah.
Holding information. So good. We also learn about Celeste impacts on this first day.
The doomed Yuri.
Yeah. Adrian's mentor.
Seriously.
Let's see.
The non-spoilery thing I could say about Adrian is I do think she is quite attractive, but unfortunately for me, she is probably gay.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Other stuff on this investigation day. Miles Edgeworth returns. I don't exactly
Yeah,
remember when this happens. I think it's while
you're at the
Gumshoe is about to be fired.
you're at the police station. I think it's right after Gumshoe gets fired by Francisca. You're at, and you can learn that the chief is more invested in the jamming ninja losing than the jamming ninja being murdered, but that's just the chief of detectives. You know how he is.
Yeah.
And then Edgeworth shows up with his brand new theme song, and he talks to you about Celeste Impacts. Just there, right after Gumshoe gets fired, I believe.
Yeah. I really like the Edgeworth return theme. What's it called?
It's called like Great Revival, I think.
Yeah, Great Revival, Miles Edgeworth. They also end up using this theme for Francisca later on.
No, that's a separate song. It's called Great Revival Francisca.
Oh wait, really? What? Oh, I thought I was looking at.
At least I think so. But in later games they have separate themes that are like basically the same song.
Oh no, they definitely have two different ones. Huh.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's two songs.
They must sound really similar then, because I didn't.
They do.
The difference, but yeah. Yeah, and I think the very last thing you do on this day is you just confront Adrian about her attempted suicide. So that's something, but it's going to be a huge part of this first day trial, so it makes sense. And then also she has a card that was randomly, she said was randomly placed in her bag for some reason.
No, she picked it up and put it in her bag.
Oh, I thought she had lied, though, at this point in time.
Oh, maybe she does say that. I don't know. I thought I can't really remember those fine details.
Unless she was
right
carrying it the whole time, she probably did put it in her bag once. So she probably.
Yeah, I think Ziggy's saying at this
really
point she was
but...
lying, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a little thing. It's one of like the few times that like the animations for her doing something actually like are plot relevant. Because she only pulls out the like card in her thinking animation so she can spin it around.
Yeah. Overall, big fan of this investigation day. Not too many problems, and the Cyclops were actually understandable.
By the way, this is the second time Gumshoe's been fired.
Yeah.
He got rehired last time.
My Gumshoe salary cut counter it also includes all the times Gumshoe gets fired.
His salary got cut infinity this time. So.
Yeah. Again.
Poor Gumshoe.
Yeah.
Well, how about we move on to the first trial day then? Oops.
You do get a pretty pog moment, like right at the end of the investigation, where Mia like jumps from Maya to Pearl just so she can give Phoenix information about where Maya is.
That's true.
It's like MLG Pro spirit channeling strats, according to my notes. I like when they use the magic stuff or stuff like that in a mystery game. They use it really smartly. I'd probably like Ghost Trick. I just haven't played it yet.
Played a bit of Ghost Trick. It's kind of good. I like how they utilize some of the Mia stuff in this case.
Yeah.
She's like a full character in it, basically. And she definitely is why I like Pearl, I think, a little bit more than Maya sometimes. Like, she's just so much more useful. So unless Maya can start getting Mia down, I don't know.
Maya wasn't very useful in this case because she was busy being kidnapped and starved. Like, come on, Maya, do more.
Yeah.
Seriously, she's useless.
Yeah, Mia is a pretty big part of this case, especially in the trials.
Yeah. Maya's too busy being a damsel in distress.
First up, you call Gumshoe to the stand. You kind of just lays out some of the facts of the case.
Yeah, you get to see the awakened Edgeworth where he's very in control of the trial. It's very important that they have a witness before Old Bag so that he can immediately lose his aura when Old Bag shows up.
Oh yeah, I guess I should have mentioned that. The big twist of the start of this trial day is that Francisca gets shot, so she's not part of this case, like, basically almost at all after that.
Yeah, they always present it as Francisca as the prosecutor, and I always remember this case as the Edgeworth case in this game, so I always, you're like, oh yeah, that is a twist.
Yeah, I feel like the case suffers a bit from that. I mean, obviously the stuff they do with Edgeworth is great, but like, I don't know. I feel like this was a problem because it sort of made Francisca not really like have much of a character in the end of this game.
I think the Francisca scene at the very ending is like the best Francisca scene in the game by a country mile. It's really good.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
with the
because it's
hospital
kind
and
of like one
everything?
of the only ones. I don't know.
I think this is like the by far Francisca's best showing in the game, despite not being the prosecutor. I don't know. Maybe it's just that she's not constantly whipping whipping. Okay, she kind of is constantly whipping everyone, but like it's not in the court. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I just like her more when she's not actively assaulting people in a court of law, I guess. But I think Francisca is quite a strong showing in this case. I don't know. It's hard for like her to be prominent without just like repeating Edgeworth's thing of being like the defendant. She's kind of sidelined, but it's like it works for her arc in this case and game. I think it's done decently overall. I think it's more just they probably should have followed up on this more in the next game.
I just feel like they definitely had an idea for what they wanted to do with Edgeworth in this game. And they kind of just needed another prosecutor to be there to fill in until Edgeworth came back. And they built.
I mean, that is transparently why Francisca exists, is so that Edgeworth isn't constantly losing.
Yeah.
I said that last time, I think. It might have been the first time Francisca showed up.
Wasn't her father shot in the shoulder as well?
Yes.
Yeah, that's another trope. Happens. Well, I don't know if trope is the right word, but
Well, it's something they're intentionally repeating between the two Von Karmas.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think that that's interesting and that she's related to him and also kind of into Edgeworth and whatever. Like, she's their age.
She's kind of
So
related to
she's
Edgeworth.
more-
In my eyes, she's related to Edgeworth.
how old is she? Like 13?
18. She's 18.
Oh,
She started prosecuting at 13.
Oh, that's right. I see.
Because her whole life, she wanted to be seen as... She was expected to be a genius like her father, as she says at the end of the case.
Yeah.
Mhm. She's
is
like,
the-
yeah, Maya for Edgeworth.
No, there's different characters like Maya for Edgeworth. She's like Francisca Von Karma to Edgeworth.
But yeah, I mean, she's not in this trial day at all. She actually doesn't ever prosecute in this game ever again. So
I mean, yes, because this is the last case in this game, and Edgeworth is a prosecutor the entire time.
Yeah, and then she leaves the country.
Yeah, but
this game.
you get the really cool playing animation and the really good song in the credits, so it's all worth.
That's fair. We get Wendy Oldbag on the stand again. He has her funny tricks that she does.
They intentionally repeat the bit where Oldbag says that she saw the defendant on the stand, and then you press her, and it's revealed to just be the costume the defendant wears. And she just goes, "Oh, they're the same person, aren't they?" It happens exactly the same, but just did in Samurai. I mean, she has more going on this time than she did in Samurai. She has the whole tabloid article that she stole.
Yeah, I thought that plot point was great about how she just stole a lot of Heart's camera.
Yeah, Edgeworth offers to buy her gum to shut her up, and he makes Phoenix Wright pay for it. This is something that actually happened because in the next investigation day, she talks about getting gum from Edgeworth.
Wow.
She also calls the tabloid article her top secret list of groceries to buy, which is a really good line. I like that one a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, but this is my favorite set of Oldbag sprites ever, just because of her stupid gun she has the entire case.
Yeah.
Where she's constantly like firing a little plastic spark, not even like a plastic flashing toy gun that doesn't do anything at everyone.
They were just like, how can we
I
make
like that it has its own trap box.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the sound effect for it keeps playing until you advance the text, so you can just let it linger for as long as you want.
How can we make a very loud character even louder?
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect.
Was their idea.
It's peak.
We start out the second part of the trial, though, basically having Adrian on the stand for the entire time, I'm pretty sure. He's the only one up there. This is basically just the point of the game where you're accusing her the entire time.
Well, to be fair, if you're not me and you're not, or if you're not replaying this case, and it's your first time playing this, you might actually think she's the murderer at this point. Because,
Well, I guess what did you think, Allie?
Yeah, what did you think? When Adrian Andrews took the stand, the D. Vasquez of Farewell, My Turnabout.
I really liked how they played into the fact that they had to like play on her weaknesses based on information that they had. They like kind of like not stealthily found out, but like that was like part of the investigation that Mia helped with. So I thought that was at least interesting. But I don't know, I just feel really bad for her.
I mean,
like,
you're definitely meant to.
Yeah. I just, Francisca kind of really sucked for that, but I mean, it's understandable.
Francisca took advantage of Adrian Andrews' lesbian crush on her.
Yeah. No, seriously. Yes, exactly.
She taught her to plead the fifth.
Like, dude, get that girl in some therapy, please, because she really needs it.
Adrian breaks a lot of glasses.
Yeah, she does. I didn't make a counter for it, but I'm impressed she managed to break her glasses so many times because those are expensive as a glasses wearer myself.
Yeah, she just has a lot.
Unless she has like a really low prescription.
Well, I can't relate to that, so I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, same. Yeah. So.
But I mean, she is clearly doing well because she's like a manager at Global Studios for like their top performing stars, so she could afford breaking like 15 glasses in one day of trial.
Yeah. I guess overall for me, I don't know. I can't exactly remember the specific cases now because it's been about like 2 days since I played this trial, but I wasn't a huge fan of this trial ladder. I just had some problems with like taking way too much damage for getting things wrong. I think I ended up dying like twice on this part, which kind of sucked. But I don't know.
There were like two different ones on the first day that like immediately killed you, weren't there?
Yeah. It would just like present. Yeah, okay, I'm starting to remember it now. The judge had a point where he was like, present some evidence that we haven't seen yet, and if you present the wrong one, it's just you instantly fail the entire trial, which kind of sucked.
Yeah. Did you do it first try?
Nope.
I did, but I've also played this more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. So, but also my memory is pretty bad, so I don't actually remember the solution to a lot of these puzzles. But I do remember like what happens in the case, so I can like work it backwards if I need to. It's not really like blind,
Yeah.
I guess we kind of skipped over it. I should have brought it up. There is the whole drama about this first day, though, where Phoenix is told by the blackmailer that he has to get the verdict in 1 day, otherwise he's.
I thought you were gonna mention what I skipped over, which is that Gumshoe gets his salary cut again, except it's his pension this time because he's already fired. Oh, I counted that as the salary cut.
Yeah.
Edgeworth goes, I hope you were looking forward to your pension review.
He got his salary cut by infinity, and even more. They somehow found more salary to cut.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that when we were talking about Gumshoe. I'm sorry. But yeah, there's a drama where we have to end the trial in 1 trial day, or else Maya goes dead Maya.
Yeah. It's almost immediately a very interesting dynamic, just Phoenix trying to draw out the trial even longer and get things going, like pushing back on the judge. So.
And like Edgeworth doesn't catch on at all. This is something Phoenix has never done.
Yeah, I don't think Edgeworth is told about this until the second investigation day.
Yeah, the only people who know in the first investigation day are Gumshoe and then weirdly Will Powers and Pearl and Phoenix. But the fact that Will Powers knows is so weird to me. It doesn't really come up at all, except unless you like talk to him. You can present him like the transceiver that D-Killer uses to contact you, and he says his name is D-Killer in this trial day as well, I believe. Like when he's telling you about the deadline.
Yeah.
And you can present him Maya's portrait. He'll talk about like what's going on. And the text does update throughout the case, but it doesn't really pop up again. It's kind of weird that he knows. I don't know.
Yeah. But I think the last thing you do is you just have Edgeworth find out about the card that Adrian found. And then
Yeah, Edgeworth is like just getting done like yelling to Adrian about how she attempted suicide, which is the big controversial Edgeworth moment from this case. I think it works. Some people think that this is too mean of Edgeworth, and I disagree.
I guess we probably should discuss that too. I mean, he basically
Phoenix
says,
thought it was too mean.
I don't care if you kill yourself. You need to say this stuff.
Yeah, it is very mean, and it is not a good thing to do. I don't think that. I think it is in character for Edgeworth, is what I am arguing. Because of what, like, Edgeworth, like, basically just came back from the lowest moment of his life where he had, like, no purpose, and now his only purpose in life, or at least what he thinks he's meant to do, is go out into court and find the truth, and he's really upset about Adrian for living such a directionless life and obscuring the truth in court, and that's why he sees, like, kind of his past self in her, so he kind of blows up at her.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing. He's not a perfect person. Wow.
I can see where he's
Cue that
coming
song.
from.
Cue
Yeah,
the
but-
song. I'm not a perv.
I'm a freak. Is that the song you're thinking of? That's what Edgeworth
That would
sings to
also
himself
work.
while he's driving his sports car. I'm a weirdo. Anyway, yeah, after Edgeworth, I don't know. I think it works as a moment. It's not, you're not meant to like think this is a cool epic thing of Edgeworth for doing it. I don't think that. I just think it works that Edgeworth does that for characterization.
They have Phoenix point that out a lot as like something he shouldn't have said, but
Yeah.
oh well. I think the whole point of Phoenix and Edgeworth's relationship in this case is kind of supposed to be centered around that sort of thing. So
It's the peak of the Phoenix Edgeworth yaoi.
yeah.
Or at least so far. Maybe there's one more that like me say that differently, but I still don't really ship them. I'm sorry.
Well, anyways,
What?
how about we move on to this next day, where next investigation and trial, which I think pretty much everything in this is absolute peak.
Yeah, Edgeworth has seen the card, and he talks about how that card is the mark of Shelley Daykiller, or Daykiller. I don't really know how he's supposed to say his name, because this game doesn't have voice acting. Who's a really infamous assassin in the country state nation of Japanifornia, who is very expensive but very committed to making sure his clients are able to kill whoever they pay him to kill. Well, indirectly kill because he does the killing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also that they do not get themselves accused of the crime. By leaving his mark at the crime, everyone knows that it was a Daykiller murder.
So they could specifically say if they get psych-locked that they didn't kill anybody and nothing will show up. So.
Well, that's not that has nothing to do with the psych locks. Like the fact that his card was there, like that's just because he hired an assassin is why the psych locks didn't show up.
I was talking about not actually killing anybody. But...
Yeah, that's just because he's hired an assassin in general. It's because he doesn't see hiring an assassin as killing someone.
Yeah. You get to go to Engard's house and feed his cat.
Yeah, you do. His cat is named Shu, which is a reference to Shu Takumi, the creator of Ace Attorney.
I don't really know why Engard would do that, but I guess they just needed a reason for you to know about Shu. So
They needed a reason for you to go to his house and see the butler and see the cat. Because you see the butler then too.
But if you knew the butler was taking care of the cat, you know.
He didn't.
yeah.
That's true.
When you talk to him again in the jail cell, you're like, "Oh, your butler was there. You must have forgotten." He just goes, "Oh, yeah."
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah, basically that.
I must have missed that.
It's a really quick reaction because he's an actor, so he's good at improvising.
Right. Okay. They also have Phoenix manages to buy more time by just saying that Engard hadn't actually been found guilty yet. Then you pal around with Gumshoe on this day because he's unemployed, so he works for you now. Except he doesn't like it.
He offers to make you the one dish he knows how to make, which is instant noodles.
Yeah. I think there's a funny conversation where
He'll be coded.
is like, I'll make you salad, and then they realize they don't have any lettuce, so then
Yeah.
they just don't.
Pearl is actually a vegetarian, which shows up in flavor text in this case. It's like it's such a minor character thing that I always forget about it unless someone tells me.
Yeah.
Which it's probably something that like Morgan told her to do to increase her spiritual power. Just judging from the way she was raised. But I don't know. It's just kind of neat.
You get Gumshoe to get a transceiver that he built in like elementary school or something for you.
If you remember back in Turnabout Goodbyes, this is another one of Gumshoe's secret weapons, is the transceiver that he made to detect electronic signals.
Yeah, I think you can see it in or near his locker in the evidence room.
Yeah, it's in Rise from the Ashes.
So they got that consistency there. It's pretty neat. I liked that part. I liked that they introduced this in only this trial specifically. It made it feel very special. Kind of in the way where, I mean, obviously they didn't know about it in the past, but like how you have those 3D segments in Rise from the Ashes.
Yeah, this is like the original gimmick investigation segment, because you have the little signals. You have to trace the little signal around to look at all the electronic things. Finally, find the spy camera.
Yeah, I guess that technically would be the first special one, because in Goodbye, Turnabout, the last case of Ace Attorney 1, not Rise from the Ashes, when you go around with those items, it's just you go to a screen and then it like reacts. You don't have
it just automatically happens when you reach the screen.
So that's pretty cool. Eventually you find the bug in Engard's room. Or wait, is it Engard?
You find it in Corey. You can't go to
room.
Engard's room for the rest of the. It closes after day 1, just so you have less places to go. There's nothing to pick up there anymore. So you go to Corita's room. It's in a giant bear.
Right. This was one of the things I had actually remembered about the case, the whole blackmail thing against the killer.
This is one of the things I actually. Well, I remembered that, but one of the things I actually forgot about this case was where the camera was.
Ah, I see.
But
yeah,
I mean, it's not really big of a deal.
It's in the big stuffed bear.
Yeah, it's in a really memorable spot. I just forgot it was there.
Yeah, it took a long time for my playthrough to find it. It was
like
like every
It took a long time for me to find it, but I was also intentionally looking at every single electronic thing to see what Pearl and Phoenix would say. So, because every time I reach a new screen Ace Attorney game and I have the opportunity, I look at literally everything, and then I look at the stuff that I know I have to look at, if there's anything.
Yeah, when you find it, Gumshoe takes like the camera to go figure out who found it, but then Edgeworth, who's sneaking in, shows up and he's like, he'll never find that. That's too common of a thing. You'll have to figure out where the bear was bought from. And I really love this text where it just says, stuffed bear snatched up by Edgeworth. I really like the idea of Edgeworth just taking this massive bear statue with him.
I mean, that's what he does, because he snatched it up. He just took it out of the room.
It doesn't make any sense, but it's extremely funny. So
yeah,
there you go.
They had to have a reason for you not to have the bear or the camera or the camera send out signals to a different place device that Gumshoe also takes, because then you go and you talk to Adrian and Ungard, and they both have psych locks. And if you had the bear stuff, you could break on guards faster than they want you to.
Well, with all that investigating done, though, you go back to On Guard in the detention center to ask him about it. And we have, in my opinion, the best moment in the entire game, where Engard reveals that he's actually an evil guy because he has scars on his eyes. And that makes people evil, you see? Only evil people have scars over their eyes.
Take this with a grain of salt, but I believe canonically the scars are just from Shu scratching him.
Oh, I see.
I could be wrong.
I mean, in his breakdown, he scratches himself. I don't know.
He does. He makes more.
So, if Magnet scratches me, I become evil. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, only on your eye.
But, the build-up and just everything surrounding this whole reveal is absolutely perfect for me. I mean, the Cyclox system works super well for it because, one, they introduced earlier that, he had no Cyclox for saying he killed somebody but then like later on, he has like 4 for like this big secret that he's trying to hide that you have to get through. Or maybe it's 5. I can't actually remember. It's a lot though. It's one of the most in the entire game. For people with Cyclops. So that's cool.
Matt, I believe Matt on guard has a full 5, and then Adrian Andrews has 1.
Right. Okay. But just seeing his different sprites then is also really cool. He somehow has like a glass of OJ now, or maybe it's wine. Who knows?
I looked up the Ace Attorney wiki to see if there was if I was right about my thing I was talking about, which I still don't know if that's true or not. I just made it up. But they did say that the glass is left unidentified. He never drinks from it. And this to skirt the Cero age rating system because it might be alcohol, but who can say?
Yeah.
The character designer said, "I do not even know if it is drinkable."
Wow. Just has the orange liquid, you know?
Yeah. He looks very over the top evil when he does his evil sprites.
Yeah.
Especially the one where he's like holding out the wine glass and laughing. That's also actually all of his sprites look super evil. All 2 of his animations with his glass.
Once again, also having special things for only like the final case and final part of this entire game. We get the first use of Investigation Core. Probably my favorite investigation theme in all of the games that I've played, at least, because
it's not mine, but
the circumstances surrounding it, like when it first plays, are so good. And
it's not my favorite investigation theme, but it's my favorite investigation theme you will not see for a long time. So
I don't know, like I remember really liking it a lot, but actually going through and playing through this again and then having that theme drop at this moment, like I definitely had chills. So
Investigation Middle 2002 and Core 2002 are really weird themes because they're called investigation themes. They're basically Matt and Guard's character themes in this game.
Yeah.
I don't even think they play for anything else. They only I can't remember, but I feel like they only play for him. I know at least the Core 2002 gets played in Trials and Tribulations some. I can remember that.
Yeah. But I mean, this is pretty much the point we learn the big through line of this case, I would say, which is Phoenix has to defend somebody that is most definitely guilty. So
yeah.
But he has to do that because he's trying to protect Maya, which I think is a great story to have.
But even if he does it, he's dooming someone else who's innocent, which is Adrian Andrews. If Adrian Andrews wasn't so sympathetic, this also wouldn't like be quite as good, I think.
Yeah.
And then Maya also leaves you the guilt note, which is like, get this scumbag no matter what happens to me, Nick.
Yeah.
That you find at the end of the investigation.
Which you should have done, honestly.
But man,
I mean, that's what I think, but this is what this case is meant to make you ask, is like, would you do that? And I think the answer, canonically, I always say that Phoenix pleads guilty during the next trial day, personally.
Yeah. I mean, skipping ahead a bit, I did also say guilty in the end. Or plead guilty, I mean.
I say guilty up until, well, we'll say later.
Yeah. But I just think that that plot point for it is so good. It gets you extremely invested. I'm very glad that they finally threw you for a loop. Like, you finally had a client that was actually genuinely guilty, and
yeah,
they came up with a great reason for why you would be defending somebody like that.
So now the coveted, I give my awards to the most obvious and least obvious killers of the game. I mean, obviously the least obvious killer is Matt and Guard. He violates Ace Attorney tradition by being the defendant and the killer.
Yeah.
True.
And then the most obvious killer is Amy/Mimi Meaty, in my opinion. Or Miney. I still don't know how to say her name. But she's the most obvious to me because Acro doesn't show up until day 2, and on day 1 she has no alibi, and she's the only person without an alibi, and therefore she's obviously the killer.
Yeah, she's just kind of a person hanging out there.
And also everyone else is in the room when the murder happens with you.
Yeah.
Everyone else is in the room separate from the room with the murder where the murder happens. That is what I mean by that. And you can see them there, so they're obviously not the killer. Well, I guess Pearl isn't there, but she's like 8.
You also raid On Guard's house, but Maya isn't there, unfortunately.
Yeah, you do get a wooden bear though, which is like almost as cool as Maya.
Yeah. You also get a picture of Impact. I think that's what you showed him, actually, now that I think about it. I don't remember when you raid his house, now that I think about it, but...
No, I think
it's after.
No, it's after you know about On Guard, because you show the picture to Adrian to break her psych lock. Right. She goes, oh, you can't prove that Inpax and On Guard knew each other. And you go, oh, yeah, well, he has a signed picture of Inpax in his house. It's kind of one of those pieces of evidence that like exists just to break a psych lock, which is like the... Sometimes you gotta have the contrivances just so you can do that, you know?
I forgot, I needed to mention this. When you're going through On Guard's psych locks, you tell him about the bear, and you show him the receipt for it, and he says something along the lines of like, oh, how do you know I bought the bear? I could have bought like a toothbrush. And Phoenix in all caps says, a $3,800 toothbrush.
Yeah, it's got an ivory handle and elephant hair for bristles.
Yeah.
Somehow I remember that exact line, or that exact reasoning for it being $3,200, or however much money it is.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the second investigation day. What a day. What a day indeed. Maybe the best investigation in the entire game. Very good stuff for me. No complaints. I mean, okay, well, there was Hottie Clinic. That was something.
Hey, this is my favorite appearance of Hottie Clinic in the game, which is a very low bar.
Yeah.
But I do think it is funny that Edgeworth just inexplicably somehow thinks that this is a real director of a hospital that he's talking to.
Yeah.
That's the best Hottie joke, is that Edgeworth just somehow thinks he's real.
And Phoenix never corrects him.
Yeah, Edgeworth is like that socially inept that he can't realize that this is obviously not the real director.
Oh well. Alright, well, how about we go into the final trial day then? Trial former and ladder. Yeah, Will Powers on the stand because he suddenly is relevant to the case again. He kind of goes into the background for after the first investigation day.
Well, the entire second investigation, basically, he's in the police station getting talking to the detectives because he remembered that he saw the bellboy at some point after or during the first trial.
Yeah, because he went to the restroom.
Yeah.
And he definitely wasn't spying on people.
Yeah, exactly. That's a funny Will Powers thing, is that even though he is a celebrity, he like is obsessed with Hollywood gossip and celebrities. Yeah. He's just like, it's so exciting, isn't it? Even though it's like what he basically just lives in, the world he basically just lives in.
This whole trial day is great because it's kind of just Wright and Phoenix and Edgeworth sort of trying to drag the trial out because they both know that Gumshoe is trying to track down Shell D-Killer.
And the other faceless, nameless detectives on the D-Killer trackdown squad.
Yeah. So they pretty much have to pull out all the stops against the judge to keep the trial going.
Yeah. I don't know what my favorite line is, but it's between these three that are all from the Will Powers testimony, which is Edgeworth talking about the bellboy, which is by saying, if I could get rolls of cash simply by bringing people things on trays, why on earth would I be standing here prosecuting? And then the double line are the same line from Phoenix of, you're saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? And then later, like one sentence later, or one like testimony later, you're saying all footballs are suspicious because they're made of leather? Just very salient points from Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, definitely not badgering the witness at all.
Yeah. Luckily, badgering the witness is only a problem when the prosecution points it out to the judge. Otherwise, he just seems to not care. And Edgeworth is also like fine with stalling the case out. So.
Yeah. Yeah, but the main through line of this entire case, at least in the first half, is just Gumshoe trying to get the stuff. And he actually doesn't end up getting it in time. I think they have like a recess, and then he's like, did you get it yet? He's like, no. And then they go through the trial some more, and he's like, all right, you finally got it, right? And he's like, no, I don't. Sorry.
Well, what happens in the last time Gumshoe calls you is that he tells you he doesn't have the evidence, even though you like told him where D-Killer's hideout was because of Mia doing the jump around again. She saw some stuff through a window, and then Gumshoe calls back again, and he says that he stole evidence off of the crime scene, and he's bringing it to you. And to make sure he gets in time, he's running every red light, and then you immediately hear like a car crashing. It's like not even a sentence later.
I think when this happens, you're talking to Edgeworth. You actually can tell him to have Franziska go get it, but you can also just fail to do that, and they're like,
and then Edgeworth just does it on him. Yeah, I knew that Franziska had to go get it, but I was dumb and didn't present the right thing. I presented I didn't think to present Franziska's portrait, so I presented like the transceiver or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you can bug. He has a bug on him. I mean, I knew what the logic was. I don't know. I just screwed it up. So I got the unsatisfying version. The transceiver
should have also allowed it to happen, but
yeah, they weren't thinking my logic. I guess it's fine. It's not like it did damage to me. I just got unsatisfying dialogue where Phoenix didn't have a hype moment.
We also have an extremely hype moment. Maybe the most hype testimony of the entire game, where you interview or have a testimony from the actual killer himself, Shelley the Killer, on a little radio thing, of course.
Yeah, the radio is more expressive than he is, which is funny.
Yeah.
Because all of his sprites in all of his various outfits, he has like the exact same face that is completely neutral, and then the radio has like actually angry animation, has a worried animation, that has a shocked animation that doesn't get to play in full until the credits, which always bugs me.
What an absolutely great twist for the case.
Yeah.
If they want to one up the parrot, they just have the actual hitman himself testify. It was just so insane, but it's really funny.
Through a transceiver on the courtroom. When it zooms out, it's just like a little box sitting on top of the witness stand.
Yeah. And to make it even more funny, they have Edgeworth himself call up the witness. It's not Phoenix like doing some tricks this time. Edgeworth is like, yeah, I guess we'll do this.
Yeah.
So.
And then the killer trolls Edgeworth by almost winning the case for On Guard by accusing Adrian of being his client.
Yeah. But then he doesn't know that she's a woman. So it all falls apart. And then Phoenix...
I mean, it doesn't all fall apart because the judge is still like convinced enough that Adrian could be the client that he's willing to clear On Guard until the end of the very end of the trial.
Yeah, they kind of just forget all that other stuff that Adrian had been accused of, but you know, it's okay.
I mean, they don't forget, she goes to jail.
There's no crimes in Japanifornia.
No. The fourth crime is forging evidence. She goes to jail for it at the end of the case.
Oh, I see. I must have missed it.
In the credits, she says that she's going to jail, but she feels better than ever after the resolution of the case. Because I mean, assuming you get the good ending, and you can actually see the credits.
Yeah. But fortunately, Franziska gets there in time. She has her grand revival herself.
Yeah, she throws open the courtroom doors very dramatically in CG.
You get a special CG. It's very cool.
And then she gives you a bunch of worthless evidence.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't really know what to do with this.
A gun. Wow. Thank you. This gun was not used during the crime we're currently trying. It was used to shoot at some police officers later.
Yeah.
The bellboy disguised it.
Court with it. You can kill the judge.
I don't think killing the judge in court is a good idea.
Speaking of that, I forgot to bring it up. During the Shelley testimony, we had some great lines between Phoenix and the judge when you're trying to press Shelley the Killer on like his methods and stuff.
Yeah.
Phoenix gets very inquisitive in how his things work, and the judge starts to think that Phoenix is gonna put a hit on him. So great lines like that.
There's a few lines about that.
Judge saying, guilty, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you are hereby declared guilty.
Speaking of Phoenix Wright being declared guilty, they reused the intro animation from the first case where Phoenix is the nightmare about the judge, but it makes way more sense this time.
Yeah.
But that's just a little minor thing. It's a little bookends, you know?
He had the same dream just before the final case of the game.
Yep.
What a coincidence.
Also, while DeKiller is testifying, he offers to let Phoenix Wright become the fourth DeKiller.
Yeah.
I mean, DeKiller is kind of like the evil version of Phoenix Wright, where he has like absolute faith in his clients, which is also what kind of undoes Matt on Guard at the end.
Yeah, eventually Phoenix reveals to him the blackmail. And then he's like,
the miracle happened.
"What? You can't have blackmail against me." And it's just a great way to wrap things up.
Well, you get to have like the killer on the witness stand just going, "Oh, if somebody when you reveal the blackmail, he goes, I would hunt that client down to the ends of the earth and kill them as my next course of action." Well, Mark Irongar's just sitting there, and he goes, "Oh, huh."
Yeah.
And then he gets to have the Matt on guard nervous sprite. Or sweating sprite, or whatever you want to call it. It's not a damage sprite, it's not animation. He doesn't have a damage sprite.
Yep, and then he ends up...
Yeah, this is what I was saying when there's like one time where I don't plead guilty. As I always say not guilty because it's way more satisfying. Where the Matt on guard is like sitting there like breaking down on the stand, and then the judge is like, "Defense, how do you plead?" He just go all smug. "The defense, as always, pleads not guilty, Your Honor." And then Matt on guard just starts screaming, "No, I'm guilty, I'm guilty, I'm guilty!" Because he doesn't want to die. It's so wholesome.
Yeah, it's a great comeuppance for a truly evil guy, Engard.
Yeah, the version of the dialogue, if you say you plead guilty, is so much is he just still screams guilty, but just saying it in reaction to being declared guilty. It's so much lamer.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you choose guilty at that moment, you have no, or you don't understand aura and hype moments enough to play Ace Attorney. Because, like, come on, don't you see the hype moments in aura?
Yeah.
Or Ace Attorney.
Aura Attorney. I like his breakdown animation. It's very good.
It is very good.
It's more scars to his face. Now he can't hide. He's gonna have to like put his hair all over his face to hide that now. So.
Nah, Matt on guard comes back and he's just like his entire mop on his head of hair.
Yeah. But then we get the ending and we get to reunite with Maya after all this time.
And
you get the wholesome Phoenix, Maya, Pearl, Chungus hug cutscene. I call it a Chungus hug.
I gotta admit something. I did not cry, but I did feel teary-eyed during this part. I was just so happy to see Maya back. I mean, I've already played this case, but I was like, man, it just feels so nice. Have them reunite.
All the lines where Pearl is like sad about Maya not being there are pretty depressing.
Yeah. She's in a pretty bad spot the entire case, so.
Yeah.
So glad that everything worked out. And then we get a great ending scene where Phoenix is forced to pay for everybody's food.
Yeah, they have to have a reason for Phoenix to say objection at the end of the game. It's the tradition.
Yeah. A lot of heart shows up again. She's like, "Yeah, I bought like a $3,000 camera or something, and I put it on your tab." For some reason, she just has access to Phoenix's tab, so.
It's because he had to pay for so much stuff for her last game.
Yeah. And then we have a final scene with Edgeworth and Francisca.
Yeah, it's at the very end of the credits. It's the last thing that happens in the entire game.
And she also holds on to Gumshoe's coat for some reason.
Yeah, I wrote it down as a favorite thing from the credits because I was saying what they are. But it's such a good scene. It's not really a credit scene though. So for bonus good credit scene, I also said my favorite traditional credit scene is the old bag one, where it's revealed that after Edgeworth gave her the bug saber to like distract her, she kept doing that and no one ever found her, so to tell her to stop, so she's still doing it.
Wow. It's using it forever now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of the final scene with Francisca. I think it's good. I just kind of wish that she had had some more character development, like, during the actual entire game. But it's fine, I guess. She ended up serving a pretty good purpose in the case overall, so it's okay. She also steals Maya's drawing. The Phoenix on the Shell the Killer card. I feel like Phoenix's face on that card is kind of cheesy, but it's funny, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, the Von Karma Maya discussion is my favorite. I mean, Von Karma The Von Karma Edgeworth discussion is my favorite scene in the game. I don't know, it's really good. I think it's not like my favorite moment in that game. I think like the entire Final Case is better moments than that, but like as just a single scene, it's like the best conversation in the game, in my opinion. You get like the whole Von Karma summation of her motivations. She didn't want revenge on Phoenix, she wanted revenge on Edgeworth. It's great. It's such a good moment.
I'm reading here on the wiki now.
I did really enjoy it. Sorry.
There you go.
I did kind of really enjoy her development. I know you guys are saying she didn't have a lot, but I do genuinely think she had a really good story and like arc.
Yeah, the last scene is so good.
Her purpose.
I really like the last scene. I wish there was more stuff like that, which is what I'm disappointed in. I think it's really written. I don't know. For me, there's like a top half of prosecutors and a bottom half of prosecutors. Despite everything, Francisca is in the well. I'm gonna say prosecutors. I mean like rival characters because I'm including investigations characters in this who are not prosecutors. Francisca is like the very top of the bottom half for me. She's like really close to being in the top half, but I think it's mostly just I think the whipping is too violent.
Yeah, she kind of does it everywhere she goes, and
it
maybe for me the thing about it was like every time she whipped somebody, they had a very loud thud sound effect of like the person collapsing on the floor or something, and I was just like, God damn!
It's not every time; it's just
like,
sometimes.
Nobody just like fight back or anything at a certain point. Like they're falling on the ground in pain. I don't know. It's supposed to be a joke. But it's not that.
It is supposed to be a joke. But I think they learned from this when they have future prosecutors attack the like characters. It is more cartoony than this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a specific character who is one of my favorite characters in the series and definitely a favorite character from the game they are from. So you will see in due time. I'm the only person who knows who this character is in this conversation. This is very ominous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that means it's not from the two other games Ziggy has played any of. Because he never finished Apollo Justice.
We'll play it eventually. I mean...
Yeah, but...
Alrighty then. Well, any other thoughts on this trial day or just the case in general before we wrap things up here? Give our overall like ratings of the stuff. All right, I guess that'll do it for that then. I'm also reading here on the wiki. I didn't actually know about this. There's actually an alternate ending if you fail.
Oh yeah, the miracle. I was gonna bring this up.
Present
the miracle never happened. Yeah, at the very end of the case, when you have to show when you have to present a person to show something to, and then the evidence you want to show them, which is the videotape that did kill her, you can get that wrong and it instantly kills you, and then you get a cutscene of Phoenix like wandering around, regardless of declared innocent. The miracle never happened. He never saw Maya again.
Yeah, it's extremely sad.
Yeah, it is extremely sad. Unfortunately for me, it is kind of undercut by the fact that the original English translation for the game had the worst typo in the series in it, which I have referenced multiple times, and I almost forgot to bring this up until you mentioned it. Phoenix and Mira are like talking about a miracle happening throughout like the very end of the trial to like bring everything to justice, which is what the videotape ends up being.
Yeah.
In the bad ending, Phoenix just goes, "The miracle never happened." In the original translation, they fixed that later, but
it's really funny.
Yeah,
the miracle never happened.
It's like the Canto 4 accidentally typoing Limbus Company at one point in the original release of it, but levels of typo, where it's like an extremely pivotal scene and it's a really obvious typo. It's very sad for the game being taken seriously. But that doesn't happen anymore if you play the game in modern releases, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's just a meme in the Ace Attorney fan base that I almost forgot to mention.
Gotcha. Alright, well, how about we give our thoughts on this, our ratings of this case now. I'm going to go first. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think this case is at the top of my list. It's better than all the other cases we've done so far. I wasn't exactly sure about it going through it at first because I wasn't a huge fan of the second trial day just because of some of the annoying insta-kill things that they had in there. But man, that second investigation day and the second trial day, I don't know. I don't think any other case has made me as emotional as this case has. I mean, there are some great stuff that happens in Rise of the Ashes, but it's also just really nice having a bunch of characters back for this one, and then also having this case be so closely linked to like Phoenix and Maya. Um, it just really heightened the emotions for me, I feel like. So now that I have finally fully replayed this case, I can definitely say, yeah, this one is definitely the peak for me. So, all right, how about we have you go then, Goom?
Yeah, there are in my
my
entire Ace Attorney series like list of the entire games. Think going from memory, there are like 4 cases that I would argue I cannot decide if it's my favorite case or not. This is the first one. That being said, I will give this the rating on the emotion scale of awe, contempt, awe, except not contempt. Sorry, I have a brain rot. But awe is the, I don't know. I can't think of a case that is better. I can think of cases that I think are like roughly equal. Maybe I'll be a bit less fond of them than I am of this one when I replay them, but I am very much an enjoyer of this case. It is quite good.
I think that's a great word to use to describe this case.
I mean, it's on my motion chart.
All right. What about you, Allie? Where would you rate this case?
I would definitely put this as an S or at least a high A on my tier list. It definitely introduced a lot of repeat characters, which I'm fairly fond of, and like I don't know, they're very comforting. But also the new characters that they introduced, all being so kind of fine, you know.
Yeah, I can see that. There weren't a lot.
It was kind of
but...
a really fun case to watch through, and like the plot was really enjoyable. So I don't know, I had a good time with it. It was so long though. The 2 days, but being extremely long, kind of drawing out the trials was a little rough, but it was like 20 episodes of 30-minute episodes that I watch at 2 times speed to get through the playthrough. It's like so much stupid content, but it's, I don't know, I enjoyed it.
Alrighty then. Well, those are our thoughts. I forgot to do this at the end of Ace Attorney 1, so I want to rectify that and do that now. What do you guys just think of the game overall, Ace Attorney 2? I mean, I guess we could just compare it to Ace Attorney 1 right now overall. Do you think it was better, worse, or about on par?
I think Justice for All is about on par with the original Ace Attorney. I think if there was no Rise from the Ashes, I think it would be it'd definitely be the stronger game overall. But having Rise from the Ashes as another strong case in Ace Attorney 1 definitely helps it. Like in the personal rankings for me, I don't know. On some days I'll say Ace Attorney 1 is like the weakest Ace Attorney game for me, and Justice for All I've never said that about. So maybe I do think it is better. Actually, no, I probably almost definitely think Justice for All is better overall. I think I'm just a bit. That last case in Justice for All really does carry the game, though. I don't think any of the other cases are like especially super strong.
The clowns, though.
Usually in like Ace Attorney, there's like at least 2 really good cases in a game that I consider like top tier, and I've never thought that Justice for All is like a top tier Ace Attorney game for that reason. It's really just like Farewell being really, really good, like S tier, but then everything else is like B or lower to me. That's probably my overall thoughts.
What about you, Allie?
I like the payoff for not having Edgeworth throughout the game was kind of nice. Like to have him so long throughout this case and like being the way he is. But the sheer amount of time that you do get with Edgeworth in the first game, and I can feel like probably the replayability and nostalgia factor probably makes the other one better. I don't have that, so I would personally probably say that 2 is better, just because they got better like with writing.
I also said 2 is better, to be fair.
Yeah, I also think that, you know, the 2 days, I don't know, but I do think the second one is probably better.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think I really, really, really like the last case of 2, but I'm a little more middling on the first 3 cases of it. I don't know if for me it necessarily puts it above Ace Attorney 1 in the end, just because Rise of the Ashes is so good. um, Rise
That's
from the
true.
Ashes.
Rise of the Ashes was really good.
And the case just before that, in Ace Attorney 1, was also extremely good.
Goodbyes.
Yeah, goodbyes. So, I don't know. I think I would say 1 slightly ekes this out, but in terms of cases, I mean, 2 is the last case of 2 is just better than anything in 1. So, that's my opinion. But great. Okay, so that's 2 games down. We'll eventually get to Trials and Tribulations, but before we end here then fully, Allie, where can people find you?
People can find me at Thou'rt Angelic on most platforms.
All right. Goomb, where can the people find you?
Well, unfortunately, you just missed me because my older brother just gave me back my whip, so I've just boarded the train back to Germany, America. So, sorry. I have to be a prosecutor there now.
Gosh, darn it! Maybe you'll be back next episode. Who knows? And you can
Maybe.
find me here on the Zigzam YouTube channel. Remember to, when you're doing a testimony, to press the like, subscribe button. Only those 2 though, not the bell. Sorry, not this time. And yeah, thanks for joining me. We'll be back. I don't exactly know when.
We'll be back at some point.
Holidays are soon, but we will be back at some point for the 3rd game in Ace Attorney Trilogy, Trials and Tribulations.
That's also the last game in the Ace Attorney trilogy.
Yeah.
That's how trilogies work.
That's how trilogies work.
Yeah.
No
and then you get
Okay.
and then we'll have me trying to argue to play the investigations games before Apollo Justice. But that's for future me to argue about.
Okay. Well, see you for now. Bye-bye.